In the last two lessons, we completed Learning Objective 1 and Learning Objective 2, where we are able to manually copy or use a script to copy some data from an Excel sheet onto a Google form, and we are also able to loop it. In this remaining activity, we will be using an if-then-else statement to help us control how the script will run depending on whether certain conditions are met. So if we go back to our Excel sheet, now we are moving on to sheet 2. And in sheet 2, it has this additional column called include. This additional column is to indicate whether this product needs to be included in the delivery or it will be picked up at the store. So we need to include this information to the e-commerce store or the grocer that we are purchasing from. Do note that in this particular exercise, we will be using a different order form, which you can find in the notes here, as well as the sheet 2 tab that we saw a little earlier. So let me open up the form. In the order form, you realize that now we have an additional field or additional question in the form, which asks us if we are including it or whether the include is yes or no. Let's go back to our UI path, and what we want to do now is similar to the last exercise. We are going to save exercise 3.2L and go to save as, select exercise 3.3L. When you go to project, you will realize that inside your lesson 2, now you have an additional exercise 3.3, and this is the design tab for it. So the first thing we need to handle is within the copy item or the copying the values from the Excel sheet. So previously we had copy item, copy number, and copy price. What we need to add on is another write and another copy. But not copy price again, now copy include. So create a new variable called include, list it as string, and that's fine. And in your copy, make sure that your result is also being sent to the include. Now we look at how to handle the form. After you have copied all the values required, now what you need to do is when we go to the form, we actually need to click on this particular arrow. So we add a mouse click, not under project but activities. And for this mouse click, we are looking at, make sure that the box, yellow box, is around just the small arrow. Go back to your Google form, open it up so that you can begin to choose whether yes or no. Now comes the if statement. So type if and then you can add it in. What we are saying is if your include dot contains bracket yes, then click, and you want to indicate on screen, you click yes for this, and if not, indicate on screen no. Essentially what we have done is that if in this copy include, the value is in the Excel sheet is yes, then when it comes to this if statement, it clicks on the yes option. Otherwise, it clicks on the no option. Everything else should remain the same. We seem to have completed all the activities, but that is not the case. If you press the play button, you would realize that the earlier activities that we added was actually for sheet 1 as well as order form 1. All the indicate screens that we have was from order form 1 and not from order form 2. Therefore, it is not complete yet. What we need to do is we need to update. Let's stop the execution first. And what we need to do is we need to update all of the values starting from the Excel handling. So let's do that now. So change it from sheet 1 to sheet 2. If all the rest can remain the same. Now we can go to our do while loop and let's start to update the Excel sheet. Let's make sure that we are on sheet 2 first and then indicate on screen. Okay. Same thing for this. And for the order form, let's update it to order list 2 as well. Let's just make sure that I'm on the right screen first. Indicate on screen. Let's move further down, make sure your submit button is also updated. And as well as your submit another response. Now we're ready to test it out. Let's see if it works. Great, it works well. All that remains is the additional knowledge I promised you in video 1. Proceed to the last video for that. See you at the next video. Thank you.